welcome riders and fans to Cymbal Session 2023 in beautiful late summer Tallinn, Estonia. Get ready for the ultimate BMX experience as we take you on a thrilling ride through the world of Cymbal Session.
Whether you're a die-hard BMX enthusiast or a casual viewer, Cymbal Session promises an unforgettable experience for everyone. So buckle up, hold on tight, and get ready for the BMX event of the year. This is Cymbal Session 2023. Cymbal Session spread its wings all over Tallinn in 2023, with hectic events like this street jam on the legendary DIY spot at Schooner Bastion next to the old town of Tallinn. Let's go. Next up is the Visit Estonia Jam in the Freedom Square of Tallinn, a legendary street spot where Cymbal Session has spiced things up with new ledges, rails, quarter pipes, wall rides, and a jump box with an arch bridge. Let the park jam begin. After the flying tricks were done, we took things a bit more tech onto the ledges and rails where the world's best street riders showcase their skills. Yes, welcome to Cymbal Session 2023. We are back in Tallinn, Estonia for Europe's wildest skate and BMX contest with a fully international list of riders from 28 different countries. And right now, it is time for the BMX finals. I'm James Threlfall, joined by the legend that is Darryl Nau, looking flush as ever, man. It's such a pleasure to have you with me, and after yesterday's qualifiers, you must be pumped for the finals today.
Well, I appreciate that intro. Yes, you have to dress because this is the finals, one of the best competitions in all of BMX, skating, and action sports. Simple Session 23.
The city centre events are done, and now we're moving to the Põhjala Factory venue for the much-awaited Simple Session 23 BMX finals on the incredible new Nate Wessel-designed course. Top riders from 29 countries gathered in Tallinn to ride and compete for the Simple Session 2023 medals, and 54 qualifiers were cut down to just 15 finalists. We're witnessing so many different styles and characters and so much awesome talent. Who is going to be crowned the champion?
And right now, it is time for the BMX finals.
It's time for me to be joined by BMX legend Darryl Nau to guide us through all of the action. Let the Simple Session 23 BMX finals begin.
So ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for BMX
Parker Heath coming back in for the first of our second runs, taking the X-Up double peg stall up on the sub box to kick things off.
So the GT rider, as we talked about, he is also a model when he's off his bike, but right now he is modeling his second run with a big no-hander over the driveway and the rail.
Yeah, Parker Heath seeming to be a real master of those X-Up grinds. Absolutely loves them, one-handed as well.
Yes, then going for that 540, leg dangling off the back, but come on, Parker, you got time for an exclamation point. Tail whip to pedals.
Just a few seconds left on the clock, and like you say, yeah, he's kind of far away from that. You were saying there's kind of that margin that the judges will decide on as to whether that counts.
Now, James, I want to highlight, if a rider winds up slipping a pedal or not having a great run, they're not necessarily penalized if they step off their bike, like maybe at an Olympic qualifier event. The judges want to be very clear. They want to see creativity, and they want to see a rider utilizing the course like that X-Up grind up to bar spin out. Unfortunately, you saw that his bike got a little bit away from him, and I don't think Parker is going to wind up finishing out the clock. He could have if he wanted to, but he's going to wave off the last. Was back in 21 when we were at the Põhjala Factory, and now he's here in the final. Bar spin to crooked grind to bar spin out. That was a great connection on that rail. So anytime a rider can trick in and trick out, it's definitely respected.
Yeah, absolutely fair play to him. The guys that can have that fall right at the start of the run as well and go, I'm going to get back on my board or my bike and just get straight back into the zone. I massively commend those people, you know.
Yeah, so much of BMX skateboarding, it's all about making that headspace. He does have some of the best crank arms in BMX. Look at that. There's a 270 version with the transfer, laying that tabletop over. You see that the 60 seconds has started. There we've got a bar spin, and here we come in. Boom! That's exactly what we were talking about. The one-handed tabletop, just laying that bike over, showing the bottom bracket of his kink BMX frame to the crowd.
Yeah, Jake in the chat saying this course looks so fun to ride, and Santi out here just finding some of the slightly different lines already, switching things up, and the judges are going to love that, you know, like we know every year that Nate Wessel brings a really creative part to Simple Session. Maddie back through.
Working out the clock. The final moment sometimes can be the most important. Yes, wall ride to downside tail whip, and you hear Tallinn, Estonia going absolutely mental for good reason, because that was a huge exclamation point at the end of his run. I was just highlighting how important that is to let the judges know, hey, I'm doing what I want on this course. I'm not quote-unquote lost out there. I'm sticking to a game plan, and I can throw down a big hammer at the buzzer. Yeah, you can see those fists of fury down there. I know his brother, mom, and dad are watching, and I say his brother because you can see those strikes. He's a martial artist. He trains and practices with his brother when he's not on BMX, which is really cool to see him just being such a well-rounded athlete. Johnny Rakes was crushing it in qualifying. He actually rode earlier this summer at X Games, and look at that combo. The bar spin landing in the X up and grabbing behind his seat and then throwing that steez coming down. Rakes going off the side, 360 bar spin. Trying to then get his composure back, bunny hopping into that transition. Let's see if he can really stay focused. Toothpick 180 hanger bar spin, good combos.
Yeah, really making the first 30 seconds count. Just coming off the back on that, though. And yeah, you were calling maybe an influencer boxing martial arts scenario, maybe?
Do not put words in my mouth. Do not put words in my mouth. I said, hey, maybe Johnny and I will spar and have some fun. And next thing you know, the chat goes off saying, hey, we're calling out a fight, and there's a brawl and this and that. I have nothing but love for Rakes. And also, Bruno Hoffman grew up in the magazines. He has been competing at Simple Session for so many years, and he has pushed the sport of BMX Street to all new levels. Right here, we're seeing him start things off with the 360 on the step down, and Bruno is going to do a very tech grind right there, hitting that front peg. And I just also want to highlight, if there's anything that you and I can't see from our announcing perspective, the judges have a perfect, clear shot. So if there's something with maybe opposite or switch and we can't see from our house, do not worry, it doesn't impact the scores. And as much as I'd like to think the judges are listening to everything we have to say, they don't hear us. So just want to put that out there. As Bruno has 30 seconds to go, the Vans rider getting a wall ride, coming in fakey, and I like the way he caught that whole transition and popped out onto the deck.
Yeah, taking a 270 over the Red Bull hip as well. Linking together all the aspects of this park out here. Yeah, oh, taking the ice pick, just dropping the front peg over that driveway rail. Final 5 seconds.
Oh, up close and personal with their fans right there. You saw that he did a little bit of a dark side Smith 270 back in, getting some props from our fellow competitors. So as much as this is a contest, second time at Simple Session, second final. That is some great consistency. He's recently a father, and it's been fueling his riding. Let's see, over ice pick to bar spin. Very smooth on that. He locked into that ice pick where his body weight was in a perfect spot and able to get that hop and throw the bars. Turning things around with that foot jam on that front wheel. He has no brakes on his bike, and he gets that balance point by having that, and then kicks a tail whip out of the double peg up the rail, James.
Yeah, I was chatting to Joe Jarvis in the hotel yesterday, saying congratulations, and he was saying, do you know what? I'm so hyped that Stu, my best mate, is in this final with me.
That rider camaraderie is real important. He's putting on the gas, looking for a combo on, big tail whip off, and you're talking about Joe Jarvis. Yeah. You see him down there headbanging right there, getting hyped. He's actually on the course to get a good perspective. Want to see him really just continue, because 2 years ago he really got a name for himself in the Federal video, and he's kept that momentum, starting his run off with a double tire ride across the entire length of that rail. It's a round rail, round tires, hard to have the balance, and then had enough pop to cleanly tail whip off. Jackman tossing the bars, coming back at us. Again, riders can choose any obstacles that they want to hit, and if they have a mess up like that, come on, Jackman, get your head in the game, because you can recover and still make the most of the clock.
Yeah, coming through with that rail ride. I'm not sure that was all he was looking for there, and yeah, stepping out knowing that one's going to be a bit of a throwaway. He's got the pressure on him now.
His riding is just at the forefront of progression of street. Let's watch his foot placement. He's got his left foot forward. Great way to start it out. Crank arm down, ice pick. But he'll actually switch his feet up a lot and go switch stance, opening up some wild moves for crank arm slides on both sides of his bike. And there you go. Jordan riding for We the People, Eclaw, Monster, Etnies, Crucial BMX, and Doomed. That's his own clothing brand, 540, putting it in reverse. Very clean exit there, and he got that slide, and there you go, the foot position. So Courage has never got the top spot here at Simple Session, but in 22, he was 3rd place on podium. In 21, he was 2nd place on podium, and back in 2020, he was just outside with a 5th place. Courage Adams on course, going for the nose wheelie, getting redemption with the bar spin right there. James, that's always a sweet feeling for any rider to come back and in their 2nd run, get that hard trick down.
Yeah, Lionel saying Courage knows Manny God. And Alan saying he's got big hopes for this run. First 30 seconds. Oh, just see his right hand just missing the bar as he was coming into fakie there. Right now, though, we're going to get into Matt Ray once again, coming off that Radio Bike Co. sub box. Placed 2nd at Simple Session in 2019.
Yes.
Would like to get up there again this year.
That red carpet, Drew Bezanson style entrance right there. Again, Drew Bezanson, 5-time Simple Session champion, cheering on Matt Ray right now as he gets a bar spin out of that crooked grind. 540 bar spin to a double peg 180 with a 180 bar spin out. Now, James, if he can keep it together and keep all of these rapid fire hits going like that bar spin to bar spin back on the vert wall. I have a feeling this is really going to favor him in the final. He's doing it for BSD, Sweets Kendamas, Etnies, Roar Superfoods, Plant Basically, and Parachute Papers. Look at that. Talk about unique. First rider we saw a grind on the side and then a gap to a Smith grind over double peg. But look how he has his momentum as he even just checks in with the dark side of that ice pick on the sub, and then James able to cruise for that ice pick.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about kind of having to try and pick your obstacles, but Reed managing to really just hit everything as he goes back and forth across the park.
And the attention to detail, bonking his wheel on the upright onto that sub, pressing the front wheel. This is a great run. If Stark can... Oh, no! Come on, Reed. Get back on it. We want to see you do it, because I have a feeling that was a big run that might have shaken up that leaderboard. But he still has time, and we talked about it, talking with Bart de Jong, one of the head judges. He said riders aren't going to be totally penalized if you mess up. And other than that crash, Reed is looking flawless out there. Toothpick on the pillar, coming back down at the buzzer. Last week in Hastings, England, there was a Battle of Hastings contest, and he had one of the hardest moves on the handrail comp. And let's see if he sticks with the rail. Double tire, dropping that front peg down to a toothpick, doing that grind you saw on his pedal and his back peg, traveling in that forward direction, coming back at us. Come on, Killian. Oh, double tire, 180 bar spin, boom. That's what I'm talking about. And the fact that he had to transfer over to the tire ride makes it so much harder because you're not getting on it necessarily perfect straight, and your tires are round, the rail's round. Double tire, drop it into a grind. Now, James, I want to talk about that for a second. This is BMX freestyle. Riders can set their bikes up any way they want, pegs or no pegs. But sometimes street riders that do a lot of rail rides will run the 4 pegs, because in an instant like that, when you slip off the rail, you can drop down into a feeble or a double peg grind. Up. Big kink manual right there. That was a huge move at the buzzer for Killian Roth. A maybe more focused Joe Jarvis in qualifying. He was dialed. He had full runs and full pulls. X up grind, smooth, grabs that transition, going on the front wheel. Yes. So right now, Jarvis, you saw that he adjusted his speed, fishtailing his back end, because riders don't have brakes on their bikes, and they want to be at that right cadence for the trick they're going to throw. Jarvis, you see reverse pumping in that pit, back at us with the X-up grind to 180. James, this is a very in control Joe Jarvis. Balancing on that front wheel, get the pivot around, and then a transfer to a grind that no other rider has done. You see him utilizing the upright and then the downright of the rail. That's kind of a newer style in BMX Street, and we're seeing Maury just pushing it forward, consistent, as he has 38 seconds to work with. Crooked grind across, and he has time for a final thought. The flare at the buzzer. Here we go. Hilder, the Australian, pressing onto that wall. No front brakes. He finds that sweet spot. And now he's going up and over the rail, boosting with that fast plant. Bar spin transfer. I love the way that he caught the bars and then cut the corner to get to that barrel roll. That's called finding your line. And you see him pumping down that vert wall, accelerating in speed and kicking the downside tail whip.
Wow, 30 seconds.
What?
He's only halfway through his run at this point. Boyd Hilder is absolutely on one out here at Simple Session, taking the 360 out of that feeble as well.
Bar spin and that tail whip out on that concave radio bike. Sub box going for the wall ride. Yes!
Oh my word.
Smith grind to a bar spin, looking up at the crowd saying, what up now, Estonia? Wrapping it up with that tail whip. Boyd Hilder, your defending 2022 Simple Session champion, lighting this park on fire.
Just absolutely attacked that park, and the riders, I mean, like I say, we're kind of up here in the studio. We can hear how crazy everyone is going off down there. So there you have it, another huge Simple Session in the books. We saw incredible riding from our top 15, and we're going to throw down to BMX legends Andy Zeiss and Darryl Nau, who are on the course for the awards.
The beautiful thing about Simple Session is that we always have some special awards. And these special awards, we're going to kick things off with the LHV Best Estonian Rider. It's getting rewarded with a medal and 300 euros and a cash. So make some noise for the best Estonian, Tauno Krits! Welcome, the Radio Bike's Best Trick overall winner, Johnny Rakes! It was an absolute battlefield out here today at Simple Session BMX Finals. And what an absolute charging animal the next guy was. I introduced him, unfortunately, yesterday with in Welsh English, and I very much apologize for that because there's no such thing. I know, right? So please, bear with me. So make some noise. Third place for the We the People rider. Make some noise for Jordan Godwin.
All right, coming in second place, no stranger to Simple Session. Years past, we premiered some of his mind-blowing video parts here. In the final, he had a red carpet, Drew Bazanzin-esque entrance. Matt Ray!
Let's give it up for Jordan and for Matt. And now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to the 2023 two-time back-to-back, third-time champion at Simple Session, the veteran rider. Make some noise for Boyd Hilder!
So that is a wrap. A huge congratulations to all of the BMX riders at Simple Session 2023. And of course, special props go out to our top three. Jordan Godwin from the UK, Matt Ray coming out of the USA, and the defending champion, Boyd Hilder from Australia, who gets to enjoy that top spot at Simple Session once again.
Well, in 2013, the first time ever, we had the Sister Session event where we had our female competitors out here. In 2023, we brought it back.
We hope you enjoyed the 23rd edition of the iconic Simple Session series, and we'll catch you again in the 24th and 25th editions very soon. See you next time.